When you think of a legendary Pokemon, you probably think of a late game or post game encounter, but what if I told you could find, battle, and catch a mythical Pokemon before you even got one gym badge? Today I'm going to see exactly what it takes. I'm going to start this run with a fairly well-known trick that, while not required to perform any of the tricks in this video, grants a little extra character customization. When you're first creating your save file, pick the gender of the character you don't want to play as. Next, save and reset your game and start a new save file, this time choosing the gender you actually want to play as. Now you're going to want to click save and reset your game immediately when it says the word don't. If all done correctly, you should have merged the two save files and now you're playing as your character with the other character's color palette. This should persist permanently, so long as you don't use the move teleport outside of battle. Now we can begin the actual challenge. You're going to play through the game normally up until after you name your rival. After that, you're going to need to catch a Spearow and head to the Pokemon Center. Once there, swap the Spearow to your first party slot. Then you're going to need to create a corrupted clone of your starter. To do this, you're going to need to swap your PC to a box that has never been full and is currently empty. Deposit your starter, then without leaving the PC, select Move Pokemon Without Mail. Then very soon after the save dialog loads, reset the game. If you reset too early, the Pokemon will be in your party, but not be in your PC. If you reset too late, the Pokemon will be fully cloned and you'll need to release the clone and save your game before trying again. You should be looking for something like this. Now, we're going to need to set up arbitrary code execution or ACE. We can start this process by moving the corrupted clone to the 14th box, changing the PC to the 14th box, and writing scripts for the game to read as the name of PC boxes. Next, go upstairs in the Pokemon Center and stand at the PC. Take one step south and one step west, then save and reset. Once loaded back into the game, take one step east and one step north. Open your Pokemon menu, press A on Spearow one time, then back out of the start menu. After all that, open the PC and select Withdraw Pokemon, and I crashed. If this happens, you likely made a typo, for example the one I made, confusing the multiplication symbol for a lowercase x. At this point I probably could have fixed it, but it seemed like less of a headache to just Okay, now if I select Withdraw Pokemon, the game should run the lines of code written in the box names. If everything is correct, you should have one TM15 in your regular items pocket and 255 of every TM in your TM's pocket. Using the singular TM15 will execute ACE, and the way you write the code is with the remaining TMs in the TM's pocket. Head over to the Pokemart to begin selling what you need to. I'll be showing how much of each TM you should have left on screen, as well as some helpful links in the description that go in a bit more depth about how you can set this up yourself. Once finished selling your TMs, press use on your singular TM15. This should open a mail screen. Using this screen, you can now write lines of code for ACE anywhere in the overworld. Due to limitations, you cannot escape this screen without executing some code, but entering this will allow you to exit with no effect on gameplay. After you finish writing a script, a checksum will appear, which will indicate whether or not you've correctly entered the code. If entered correctly, press done. If you're done typing, press start to execute the code, and if you need more space to type, you can press select to open another mail dialog to continue. Using this code will clear your TM's pocket while maintaining TM15's effect. Now we're going to enter a script for what is known as an OAM DMA hijack. The OAM DMA check occurs every frame. It does things like decides if an NPC is going to change position or ensures certain Pokegear calls happen as they're meant to. But if we can take control of that check, it gives us a lot more freedom with our ACE. Upon completing it, you won't notice any difference in gameplay. It's just going to open the door to this next code we're entering. This next code is arguably one of the coolest for any Gen 2 run. What's the worst part about returning to classic Pokemon games? In my opinion, the lack of running shoes. This code solves that and more. Holding B increases movement speed while holding A allows you to walk through walls. And yes, you can do both at once. This code tells the game to trigger the GS Ball event, and these codes are going to give us a party capable of weakening Celebi. From here, we're going to walk straight through Violet City and walk through the trees around Sudowoodo, and passing through to Goldenrod City. Entering and leaving the Pokemon Center will cause an NPC to stop you until you have a special delivery. This will be the GS Ball. Next, I'm going to go pick up some supplies at the department store and make my way through Ilex Forest to talk to Kurt. Now, Kurt's not going to want anything to do with the GS Ball until after we've assisted him at Slowpoke Well. Luckily, this is a very manageable task and we're through it quickly. After, speak to Kurt and he'll ask you about the GS ball, then say he's going to take a look at it. This will begin a 24-hour real-time wait, however this can be skipped by resetting the clock. Upon speaking to Kurt again, he will say that Ilex Forest is restless and ask you to take the GS ball inside to see if you can figure out what's up. This is where you can interact with the shrine and a battle with Celebi will trigger. Battle and catch it is normal. It has a catch rate of 45, so it'll likely not cause too much trouble. You now have a mythical Pokemon before finishing your first gym battle. Also, since you made it to the end of the video, I have a couple other secret codes prepared. Entering this on the mail screen will turn the first Pokemon in your party shiny. This works on Celebi. If you enter this code, you can force any trait evolution, though the Pokemon does need to meet any other requirements, for example, Scyther needing to hold the metal coat. That's all I have today. Thanks for watching and subscribe for more Pokemon Glitch challenges.